Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Anne of Green Gables podcast. This time we're discussing episodes 10 through 14. With me is...
Me.
And who are you?
I'm Simsman, and I'm only woman.
I'm irrelevant. Still.
Alright, now...
No more.
Vamp the Vampire, Diana is my waifu!
Alright. Well, since Simsman has finally taken notes, episode 10. Get up.
I wanted to mention the body language when the girls started to faint or started to play that they were fainting. I like how overly dramatic Anne is. Also, I like the parallax effect when they were
With the
quote
trees.
unquote, what?
With the trees, yeah.
Yes, with the trees when they were quote unquote dancing around the trees or spinning around the trees. That's the only things I had to say about the episode.
Yeah, I think even with that, this is a pretty boring episode.
I don't remember what happened.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
that. And that's because I had notes. Because if I didn't have notes, I don't think I would remember anything about it.
Yeah, I don't have really much either. But I like how when they went to the house, the first thing they were doing, they basically went on with boring small talk, like adults do. Oh, that was a fun feature. Oh, adults are boring. We should be boring as well. And like hee and laugh about it. I thought that was cute. Also, there was the part where they picked up the mirror and they see all the sprites inside, and like right after, the sprite just goes across screen, like because you can tell in the mirror that's like their imagination thing.
Yeah.
But like in the actual world, there's like a sprite comes up, checks them out, and then flies away. So it's like, oh, maybe there's some actual mysticism in this world, possibly, or it might be all in the head, but they're not even looking at it or registering it. So that's cool. I like that. So yeah, that's about all I have to say.
Yes. I will say this episode, I agree with you guys, this episode wasn't that dense, not that much happened. But the stuff to chew on, there's still things to chew on. I just have 3 little notes.
I don't agree. I think everything that is in this episode gets repeated in episode 11 or 13. A lot better. A lot better and a lot more engaging, and those episodes have a lot more going on besides that as well.
Yeah. I will say the most interesting thing about the episode was Minnie, the Diana's little sister.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of funny.
Anyway. Yeah.
All right. My first note is hold on. Let me read it before reading it out loud. This is probably just a little thing, and it just seems kind of obvious. But Anne sort of is waiting for Diana to go to their meeting spot so they can go hang out. Yeah. And Anne's like, she sits there and waits there for a bit, and then she realizes, like, oh yeah. And this is the quote: "I don't believe a best friend would forget about our appointment." And I just thought that was cool that she said that to herself, and then she took the initiative to go there and figure out what's happening. And when she went there, she didn't mess shit up by being like, "Oh, what's happening to our date?" You know, she didn't blow it in front of Minnie, the annoying little kid. Not that I hate Minnie, but everything just worked out all in the right way. Like, Anne is not incompetent. I know it's been established before. I'm just glad it's staying consistent. Moving on. And I'm not a fan of role-playing. Not gonna lie, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it was just like nothing in this episode did anything for either of their characters. Like, you could cut this episode out and not much would be lost.
Yeah, for sure. Won't deny that. still a pretty delightful episode. Wish it was,
Mm.
just like the beginning of the next episode. Yeah.
I like the fact that Matthew made a share for their special place.
Yeah, but that's the next episode. That's not this episode.
God damn
do you
it!
think,
How dare
do
you?
you think I remember in which episode those things happen?
Oh, we probably should be moving on anyway.
Yeah, anyhow,
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
episode 11.
Okay, I just have one note for this episode, and it's not really related to what happens. So I let Vamp go first, and then I talk about it.
Alrighty. So this episode is basically just the one problem of Anne touched Marilla's brooch. That's not the problem. Problem is that it went missing, and Anne just happens to be the person who touched it last. Now, I think I don't know if I even consider. I'm actually not sure about this. I don't know if I consider this a good thing or a bad thing that the show explicitly didn't let us know what Anne did with the brooch.
I think it's
when
a
it
very
left.
good thing. I think it's a very
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
An attentive viewer should probably guess that Anne did nothing wrong, because
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
consistent with her
assumed.
character.
It's very
Uh,
heavily implicated.
Yes,
Yeah.
because Anne is an honest character.
Oh yeah, it would not be in line with the character. Just be like, you want to know? Now I'm stealing it because I think it's so pretty. I think that would be like a just like it'd be bastardizing your character if they did it just for the sake of, oh my god, guys, drama. But yeah, I did after watching the episode, I went back just to look at that scene just to confirm if it was vague or not, and it turns out it was vague. So I guess it's a good thing. Oh yeah. And Marilla's response when she questions Anne about it, she's like, "Oh yeah, you're the last one touched it last," and you say, you put it back, but honestly, who else could have been? So I'm gonna have to not trust you on this one, Anne. And so she sends her off to her room until she's willing to confess. Which is, I think, a very realistic situation, all things considered. That's really all my notes. Is just everything just around that is just like, I think it's well constructed. I think it's an interesting episode for sure.
Can I mention what I had to say?
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to mention the story about the diamond. Do you guys remember that?
Oh yes.
Because she mentioned
Yeah.
mentions the first time she saw a diamond.
Yeah.
And when I first watched it, I thought this was supposed to be a sort of Chekhov's gun about the themes of the 2-episode arc. Like, I thought they were going to introduce a theme about expectations versus realities, because Anne always imagined that diamonds were
She said she thought it was like an amethyst.
yes, and when
Specifically.
she saw a diamond for the first time, she was disappointed because she wanted more.
All right, I guess I'll go up. I love how the episode starts with Anne just completely ignoring the fact that it's like late or something, and immediately going to Matthew like, "Yeah, I want chairs. There's wood here. Can you make a chair or a table, rather?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then there's a cat that jumps on Anne's lap, showing that the cats are also, and the animals and shit are comfortable with her living there. And she just completely like fucking ignores the cat because she's so like fucking enthralled by the idea of getting a table. I thought that was really funny, as well as the cat falling down was really well animated.
Oh yeah, that was a thing I should have mentioned.
I thought particularly in the scene of Marilla going on about, oh, I want to go to the picnic and stuff. Her voice acting in that went through a fucking gigantic range of emotions in that one scene, and it was great. She really was like, I really want to do this. She was really expressive and adamant about it, and it was very
And she was like,
believable.
if there was anything that would stop me, it'd be a lifelong sorrow. I'd never forget it, ever.
Yeah.
It was very dramatic.
The voice acting, yes.
Yeah.
I thought the music, particularly in this episode, I thought the music was very well timed to like the scenes and how like at least they complemented the timing of the shots and things very well. Particularly in the scene of them knitting, and in the cup with like Matthew chopping the wood, and it's like atmospheric and shit. And the second half of the episode was, of course, the brooch we already talked about. Like, Marilla in that, particularly, you guys have talked a lot about Anne, but I thought that Marilla in that had a lot of scenes of, like, would Anne really do this? Or, like, is this why would she do this? Am I wrong?
Yeah. And I think what's great about it is that she's like, oh, like the fact that she would do such a thing, this hurts me so much, and that changes. She keeps saying that kind of phrase, but slightly differently over and over again. It's like, I can't believe this would be done. Like the fact that she's done this is terrible. I can't believe this would ever happen.
I thought that was what really made it feel.
She really, I've said this before, but she's adapting so much to be the mother figure, just really well. I think it works. And we want to get on to when it's revealed that she's actually innocent, that she finds her.
It's the next episode.
I thought we're moving on.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything else to say about episode 12? Episode 11, rather. Alright, well then, relevant. Episode 12.
Yeah. Basically, we go through the same process. Oh, she's not going to be able to go to the picnic now because she has to stay in her room because she needs to confess to the crime of stealing things. And, well, she hasn't done it, so she obviously can't confess. But she does because she thinks, oh, if I confess, I can go. But obviously that's not smart because, oh, you need to be punished now. But she never did it in the first place. And then when Marilla eventually finds out that she just put it like in a suitcase, then a whole shit fest starts. I'm like, oh, I fucked up. Gotta change it all. And yeah, all the regret just starts, and she hurries so fast. Like, oh, I never should have doubted you. That was bad on my half. Let's get this all fixed up. And I think that's pretty nice. There's also a part where they're sitting at the table with the new character. Is he new? Like Jerry, whatever his name is. Yeah, they're sitting around the table saying like, oh, Anne's never been brought up properly. But he's just sloppily eating. And he's like, oh, that's pretty good contrast. Like how much they care about boys and girls, like the difference in their social etiquette and such. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's about it, yeah. Well,
so now you're up.
I wanted to mention how cool it is that even when telling lies, Anne likes to fantasize and wants to tell a good lie in the sense that she's telling a good story about being Cordelia. And I like
Narrative
how
story building.
Oh my god, yes.
and I like how the animators decided to draw all her clothes.
Oh, yes.
She looks amazing in that outfit.
Domino the fucking god. Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
Also, two more things I wanted to mention. It's that ice cream was probably very expensive at that time. I'm not really sure about it, but I guess it was. And this is on my notes. And never shuts up montage.
Yeah, there are a couple of those.
Yes.
They're very good.
There are a lot of those montages
I think
on the
they're
entire
actually
show.
pretty, like essential to the show because it establishes that like they still like have to and like sure she's very excited and telling all these things, but she's still like doing like she's still like doing like the thing, doing her chores and she participating in the whole family thing and trying to help, I guess. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, did you like this arc, this 2-episode arc about the lie?
For me, I would have really liked all that just to happen, the sort of arc just to happen in one episode, preferably. Not like for an organizational thing, but I feel like just time-wise, it could have been
I don't
done
think
that quickly and be still fine, personally.
I don't think it would have had. I don't think it would be as impactful if it was like.
Yeah, there's basically the whole second episode is Anne just being away at like school and just hanging out with Diana.
Yeah.
Sort of just having to think on it in the back of her mind. So I think that's fair. Yeah. If anything, my problem is probably just the first half of the episode 11.
I think the point is her like waiting through all those days, waiting to go to that picnic that she really wants to go to. Like,
Yes.
that's most of the impact comes through.
Yes.
And like that's such a big deal for her, and she's got to wait so long, and then she might not even get it. It's just that is why it's 2 episodes, and also Marilla, so she can ponder everything.
Yes. Yeah, I like episode 11 was really good, but I freaking loved episode 12 because of all the character stuff. And also, episode 12 looked fucking amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And she's stuck inside, and there's all this good shit going on outside.
Yeah. They really do a good job of being like, oh, hell yeah. This whole picnic thing, yeah, it's fucking dope. Oh yeah, I love how more than half the episode had no fucking dialogue.
Yeah, because Anne's is not able to talk.
Yeah, no, I've had to, but even in the picnic sequences, it's very much like just relying on the music and the audio cues and
the music is really good there.
And the timing of everything. I really like the shot in the beginning. I'm not sure if I posted it. Shot in the beginning of the episode. There's like really fucking when Marilla like keeps talking to Anne like can confess the things, and it's just like this really fucking, there are like these borders around the window, and it's really claustrophobic and pushing in on like Anne, and there's this fucking like even like the chair is like this fucking like directly opposite of her, kind of like this confrontational object. It's good.
I want a spin-off show just about Cordelia. And they could have just one episode where Anne describes the origin story behind Cordelia. Like they could she could invent a cheesy romantic story set in medieval times or something like that.
Okay, I have a couple of notes. Marilla just laughing once Anne like once Anne comes through, Marilla just laughing at the whole fucking ridiculousness of the situation was like, it really shows that like Marilla does have self-awareness and does kind of reflect on her actions and just realize that this was all stupid and doesn't matter
and she apologizes
while she does apologize while laughing about it.
As she should.
Yes. Oh god. Yes. It was so good. Matthew like trying to explain to Marilla why he thinks Anne, why he thinks Marilla is being unfairly harsh on Anne, but he's like not like he can't. He's like stumbling through his explanation. I thought that was very realistic. Like he doesn't quite know how to word it and shit. But that fit in with his character and was very realistic and added a lot. like weight to it. I don't know when the thing happened eventually. And then Matthew talking to Marilla at the end of the episode about how she's growing and how she's like through Anne she's kind of learning to be a better person. That's literally what she was talking about. And then like the last fucking line of the episode was 1 second. Can I find it? Because I thought it was fucking great. Last line of the episode was, "And there's one thing for certain: no house will ever be built that she's in." I thought that was perfect.
Certainly true. Yeah, one more thing. I like how Marilla's learning to like treat the children more like in a more adult manner, like they're actual people. That's like and has like actual feelings and motivations that she actually like learn how to do, like, and that point where she apologized to her, I think that comes through, and this also comes through in a later episode. I want to get to that.
I think that Marilla always treated Anne as a human being, but now she's beginning to trust her.
Yeah.
Those are two different things.
Yeah.
I think that this episode was to build trust on Anne.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think your explanations probably makes more sense here. That's what I'm trying to get across. Okay. Moving on to next episode.
Sure.
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
Do you want me to go first?
Oh, go ahead.
School is cool.
No.
Yes. Yes, it is. School is cool.
No. Nothing about school is cool.
Do you think somehow that this show presents school in a specifically
Like, I don't think it
good light?
does. I don't think it does.
I think that this school is cool. Cool in the sense that it feels alive. I want to
Well, yeah,
congratulate.
I have this in my notes. They
Yes.
laid out the entire fucking road from Anne's house to the school.
Yes, but I want to
And
specifically.
then specifically, they also laid out the school and the surrounding area and the whole thing of the milk bottles, laying them down. It's very like it feels very lived in. It's very detailed. They obviously put hell of a lot of thought into it. It was it's very satisfying to watch. Go ahead.
I wanted to specifically congratulate the animators for bringing this school to life and all the things that happen in the school. I took 3 screenshots, 2 of them from this episode and the other one from the next episode. The first one is the 2 kids fighting, and is just passing by them and watching them. And the other screen cap that I took from this episode is this one where there are 3 girls talking in one desk and the other one sitting alone in the other desk. Like, there's so much storytelling in just this image. Like, okay, maybe these 3 girls are friends and are laughing about something and are sharing stories, and the other one feels excluded and lonely and something like that. Or maybe this is just in my imagination, but the fact that I can take so much from just one picture, this is animation done right. This is the power of animation, in my opinion. And that's it.
That's triangling thing. I had that in my notes as well. Like, she doesn't even really talk about it. She's like, "Oh, this is probably just normal. Let's move on. Let's just keep going." She looks at it for a bit, but she's just, "Oh, people strangling each other. That's okay." I think that's pretty funny. Also, I think this is probably my favorite scene, like in the show so far, at least in recent memory. That I'm pretty sure it's in this episode, but when Anne, actually, it might be next episode, but she was being back talked in class, and then when she gets outside to play with friends, she goes on this massive acting spree, where she repeats what the teacher said and does them like really over dramatically, starts making sounds, and
Yes,
everyone starts laughing.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh, that was
I
really
that
think
was in this
Yeah, I thought that
episode.
was really good.
I like the fact that Anne is a sociable girl. Like she can make friends. Yes, she's weird.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
she
like
had
that too.
a
she
bad
knows how to have
first
fun.
impression, but she can make friends,
Yeah.
and she deserves friends. Anne is a sweet young girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
She's
best
just not.
song.
She's not your average otaku guy.
Yes.
The ones that just can't make friends. She's a upgrade for sure.
I
Also,
thought.
I wanted to share this picture. This
yeah.
one is from the next episode, episode
Yes.
14. Like, there's so much stuff happening in this
Like-
picture. Like,
Or like when Anne approaches the school, there's all this like things going on too.
no,
Even
but
in like the scenes of the school breaks, the shit is happening in the background as well. It's very good. It's very
But-
yeah.
but I
like you
like
said.
this shot better. Like, every kid is doing his own thing. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you have this one thing in the this one kid in the board that is doing the math exercise, and on his right is another one looking to the whole class with a grin on his face. Like that one is not taking this seriously, and then some of the kids are trying to concentrate and do their stuff. The other ones are talking to each other. Some of them are looking back. You have the other one grabbing a picture of the teacher. I suppose this is the teacher,
Yeah.
and he has a heart on the board also. Like, is this some implication about the
Well,
sexual relationship?
it's the teacher prefers the fucking the blonde girl because she's like older and shit.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
what I was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
is this kid making a joke about the relationship
Oh
between the
yeah.
teacher and
Yes.
the other
Absolutely.
girl? Like, it's a possibility. We don't know. Maybe he's just an asshole. Maybe he's a kid and hasn't thought about it. Like, I don't know. There's so much thing happening in this shot. Like, it's amazing.
Right. Like Marilla at the beginning of the episode, Marilla worrying about like really worrying. Do you have everything? Don't act weird. Don't tell me how it goes and shit.
Yeah,
And even
It's
then,
just
she's like, she said like a million things, and even then, she sits back down once Aunt goes, and she's like, am I doing this right?
yeah, it's a very classic mother sending her daughter first day of school.
Yeah, it's
Well,
so
fuck with Jack.
good.
Well, it definitely fits in. Like even without the idea of Marilla being a new motherly figure and trying to grow into that, I think she's also just the kind of person who is sort of a little neurotic, a lot of like concerned with the fine
Yeah.
details,
Yes.
and I think that works well for her fitting into that sort of position as a new motherly figure, for sure.
Earlier on in the episode, Anne like waking up and immediately asking if she could help Marilla with the stuff because it's like a busy harvest and things. It's sweet. It's very sweet. I love how Marilla like pours. I have this in my note. Marilla pours the milk through a filter. Like it's not just like there is like a filter through it so there aren't like chunky bits or like dirt in it. It's like, yeah, people did that back then. That's cool. I like how
And
Matthew
getting the
has
water
like
as well.
what? Yeah, the water too. Or like Matthew
We have
has
to pump
like a farming machine, a really old ass farming machine that looks
Yeah.
goofy as fuck. But I know those things. I've seen those things. They are real. It's. I like that attention to detail. Again, what Sunaz said, it's just fucking insane. There's like they really planned everything out. It's great. They show there are several shots like this where they show both Anne doing a thing and then Marilla's reaction on the same thing. That felt very no, that's the thing because normally anime don't do that because it's like you have to draw two characters. You have to draw two bodies. You can't, because normally you just cut to the face, but you don't shoot the reaction in the same shot. 'Cause that's the thing movies do, not anime. Oh yeah, the scene with Anne and Diana going to school and like going past this whole road. And there was another part with birch trees and parallax movement, and that was a lot better because how it was timed to the music.
What scene was it? I didn't notice.
There was another scene with them. 1 second.
The two girls spinning
No. It's
around
in
each other.
episode 13, and they go
Ah,
past a forest, right? And then
yes.
it's again parallax movement, two moving layers, and then
Yes,
stuff.
that one scene with the trees where they are spinning around each other, right?
What? No, in episode 13. Yes.
Yes, episode 13, the one in school. I watched
No,
the episode today.
like when they go to school, right? They go to a birch forest, right? And they walk past trees, and they're presented as the birch trees in the background and foreground moving.
Yes, that was the scene I was talking about.
Yeah, I thought that was really well timed to the music, and a lot better than how they did it in episode 11 rather. How they did it in episode 11. Anyhow, episode 14. You wanted to say shit. Go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to mention that teachers at that time were abusive, like not just emotional or psychological abuse, but also physical abuse. I don't know what you guys thought about the episode. If you liked it, if you didn't like it. I just wanted to mention that at that time it was extremely common for teachers to humiliate the
Yes.
students.
Yes, I know.
Sometimes they would even beat their ends with their sticks.
Yes.
Like my father is 52 years old, and she was struck in the end when he was a child. I don't know if your parents have stories
Yes.
of
My father
physical
was as well.
abuse. I wanted to mention that people at that time probably didn't value education either, because Marilla is just okay with and don't like Anne asks not to go to school, and Marilla is just okay with that. Like she doesn't
I
even
don't think she's
argue.
that okay. I
Like
think that's because she thinks she's going to go back.
okay, yes, but she's okay enough to allow it, even if just for 1 week. Like
I guess.
nowadays, that would not happen at all.
Wow.
In most places, at least.
And yes, these are literally the two things I wanted to talk about.
Which ones?
The introduction of Gilbert. He's a cool boy, and
God
the
damn it.
apples.
God damn it.
You want to take it over?
One of my notes is literally Gilbert's a cool lad who knows his apples.
Yeah, that's literally my notes. That's literally what I have. And the way he like kind of flicks it off his arms and he just throws it around casually.
Yeah.
He's a very cool boy, and that bit of animation that was nice as well. Very nice. And I like how in this episode Anne is basically just a gangster. She fucking smacks him over the head with the fucking chalkboard. That is the greatest. She could take on anything. She's so powerful.
Too powerful. I was expecting that she was going to pull back and not do it at some point, but the animation was just so it didn't
was
stop.
great.
It didn't stop.
And it got so
it
dramatic.
was barely animated. Like the hit was animated, but like
it slowed down.
Yeah.
So it's like really dramatic.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and just the way like Gilbert, like I don't want to say really makes advances towards her, but that's kind of what it is. It's like she kind of try to apologize and like wink at her, whatever, stuff like that. And like she just does not want any of that.
Does Gilbert
This is
become
part
a
where
more
she gets
important
the-
character later on?
He had the borders around him.
Yeah, exactly. He's an important character, so he's a
Okay.
border. This is obvious. Anyway, there's a part where he gives her like a forgiveness candy, whatever, and
Yeah.
she just drops it down and crushes it with her foot.
I
And
have
that
that
is
in my
just
notes.
like, I was just clapping at that point. I was just so proud of it. I was like, yes, good shit. But yeah, Anne's attitude towards him is really going to change him up. No girl, I can assume. So, yeah, I'm happy to see where that all leads. I think that's about it. Anyone else want to continue on?
Well, you said literally, you and Samara said literally everything I wanted to say about this. There wasn't much to say. It was very much like a visceral experience.
Oh, for sure. I will say, like the specifics of how Gilbert teased the girls, especially the blonde one.
That was mean.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that much of a physical sort of abuse. It's almost psychological, because most of the
Yeah.
pain comes from
The humiliation.
put in an uncomfortable state, surrounded by other people who, this is an age where they're trying to keep up appearances more a little bit. Where the blonde girl, she's like so excited she's standing up, and her head was thrown back. The teacher thought that, oh yeah, what are you doing, kid? You fucking trip or something, fucking dumbass. He didn't say that, but yeah. Like he was looking at the board, so he didn't know what the fuck was going on. So it's sort of like this public, like, I wasn't looking perfect, and I feel vulnerable now. And specifically for girls, I'm sure that, especially back in the day, would be pretty upsetting, because both Anne and the blonde girl almost nearly cried, like full on cried. Like you see the blonde girl like tearing
Yeah.
up and all that, and literally having tears in her eyes. Very psychological warfare. Very. I just thought that was interesting. It's like some people would see that as a very like a playful thing. Oh yeah, tugging on hair. But it's like in the classroom in this old age, this is serious business going on. Yeah, it's probably my favorite part of the episode, other than Anne slamming the black chalkboard over the head.
Yeah.
But we talked about
Yes.
that.
Oh yeah. I didn't talk about this. This is in my notes, but I didn't talk about it. What did you guys think of the change in drawing style, like the subtle change in drawing style in episodes like 12 and 13?
Do you want me to be honest?
What?
I didn't even notice it.
Fucking like the arms and legs are much more like how do you say this? Exaggerated, I guess. They're a bit like the proportions are a bit more exaggerated if you look at them. Like not that much more, but they are.
I didn't notice too much. I noticed a little bit, but
Yeah.
I didn't see much of it, really.
Okay. I thought.
Comparing the episodes now, you were completely right. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I was to go back and look, but like during, I probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, because
So
there's this scene of her changing clothes in episode 13, and I was like, they wouldn't exaggerate the arms and legs that much normally, but okay, yeah, it
Yeah,
works.
her arms look a lot thicker later.
Yeah, I thought it was neat. It shows good.
I want to see one of Anne's fighting Korea. That's my only wish. All right.
So
Well,
do we wrap this up?
Yeah,
yes,
I
let's.
guess.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Please watch.
Please watch.